Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 here, back again for another DVD Blu-ray update for you. I got a couple of things here to show you. Actually, a lot of things here to show you. So let's get started. The first two up here are from Warner Brothers. And this first one right here, I don't think I ever really seen it before. And if I did, it was like a long time ago. Like my parents were watching it and I was just kind of like, hey, what's that kind of thing. And I watched it and it was amazing. It stars Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, and it's called Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. This is the Blu-ray digibook. You know me, I always collect those digibook things. If you guys don't know about this movie, this is the 50th anniversary edition, I believe. It doesn't say it on the cover. It just says anniversary edition. The picture is just flawless for a black and white movie from the over 50 years old. It's just flawless looking. If you guys have never seen the movie, it pretty much starts off with these sisters as kids, and one of them is just really hella popular, and she's like, singing and dancing on the stage. Her name's Baby Jane, and the other sister is just not as popular, and doesn't really have that many fans. And Baby Jane's like, her money is paying for everything, and she's kind of like a spoiled brat, Baby Jane. And as the sisters grow older, the one sister becomes, they start doing movies, and the other sister becomes more popular than Baby Jane was, and doing movies and stuff. And over time, Baby Jane just starts getting real jealous and just real bitter about how her life turned out and how her sister became more popular. But in this movie, her sister gets crippled. You have to watch the movie, see what happens, and she gets bound to a bed, and you just see the kind of weird stuff that happens with how Baby Jane treats her sister. And how her sister's bound to a wheelchair, and it's just all kinds of crazy. It's kind of like, what was I gonna say? It's kind of like it's kind of like Misery, in a way. Kind of like it has a Rear Window kind of feel to it. When what's her name's the one that's bound to a wheelchair is like looking out of a window trying to get the next door neighbor's attention by going, help me, like trying to throw a note to the neighbor kind of thing. It's just really cool because it's someone that's bound to a wheelchair trying to figure out how she's going to get out of a house, and all this weird and crazy stuff is going on. It's a really fantastic movie. It has special features on here like, what's it called, 3 documentaries, a commentary, trailers, and the Whatever Happened to Baby Jane movie mix or something like that. But it's just such a good movie. It's one of those things, like, I put it in and I was just in awe of how awesome this movie was, to be completely honest with you. And if you guys have never seen it before, I suggest you guys check this one out. It's really cool. Really creepy, like really creepy vibes, you know what I mean? Like how sisters can treat each other. It's like, whoa, And this next one right here is Little Shop of Horrors. And this one is just a classic. A classic musical about this guy that works in a flower shop, and he one night when he's walking down the street, and a total eclipse of the moon happens, and this weird thing comes down and zaps this one table in front of this one flower store, and he sees this weird plant there, and he ends up picking it up. And then Seymour, the guy that works at the flower shop that gets the plant, he's like, how am I going to take care of this plant? What does it need? Like, water's not working, this is not working. And then he finds out that the plant needs blood. And the blood is what keeps the plant going and growing. And it's just a really fun musical. Of course, you see John Candy right here, Steve Martin right here playing the wacky dentist. But the thing is, I don't know if you guys know about this movie. The original movie that Roger Corman made, Little Shop of Horrors, was made in 1960. And this one was made in 2 days. I don't know if you guys knew that. This whole movie was shot in like 2.5 days, 2 days or something like that. And then from that little two-day shoot, someone wanted to make it a play, and they turned this movie into a theatrical Broadway, like a Broadway production. And then from the Broadway production, they put out this. They made another movie out of that. I just thought that was kind of cool. I kind of knew that for a while now about how they shot the last Little Shop of Horrors in 2 days. I'm like, whoa. But this is really cool. It comes with also the alternate ending, which is a total downer. But it's still hella fun to see it on here, because I don't think I've ever seen that alternate ending on this before. I think it's been released once on some weird DVD version back in the day, but I don't think I've ever seen that one. But it's just really cool to see the alternate ending. The picture is just beautiful, stunning colors that pop out at you. Has a handful of special features on here. The theatrical version has the the director's cut version, which is 20 minutes longer. What's it called? 2 theatrical trailers, outtakes, deleted scenes, all the goodies you need. And it's also in one of those digibooks too, with a personal note from Frank Oz, the director of the movie. It's just a really cool musical, Feed me, Seymour. Please feed me. I know. I always thought it was cool. I even love the Roger Corman one right here. But yeah, that's Little Shop of Horrors. And next up right here is from Disney, and that is the Santa Claus 3-film Blu-ray collection. Oh, these movies, I just absolutely love them. Especially the first 2 Santa Claus movies. You get them all in the little 3-pack here. The first 2 Santa Claus movies are my absolute favorite ones of the series. Third one, it kind of lacks a little bit. It's not my favorite at all. It's not terrible. It's just kind of like, did it really need to happen? But the first one, it's just oh man. It's about this story. You guys probably all know this one anyway, because you guys, it's not that old of a movie. You guys know this one. About a guy, he's having relationship problems. His son has to go back and forth with him and his wife. His wife has like a new boyfriend, and the little boy's mother's boyfriend's telling him that Santa Claus is not real and stuff like that. And Tim Allen's like, of course he is, trying to keep the spirit of Santa alive in his son. And then of course on Christmas Eve night, Santa Claus, they hear a clutter on the roof, and it's Santa Claus. Tim Allen runs outside because he thinks there's some crazy things going on, and then Santa Claus slips off his roof and he perishes, he disappears. But then Tim Allen sees this little, trying to look for identification on the guy that fell off his roof that's dressed in a Santa suit, and he pulls out this card, and it says if you put on this suit, blah blah blah, you all this kind of stuff, and he puts on the suit and becomes Santa Claus. And then it's just a really fun series of movies. If you have never seen them before, they're finally all on Blu-ray. Because I know the third one was released on Blu-ray back in 2007 or 8 or something like that, and now finally 1 and 2 are on Blu-ray now, because I don't know why they would just put out number 3. I have a feeling they just put out number 3 by itself, because that's when Blu-ray was, I think, starting to come around, so that was like one of the newer-ish movies they put out. But now they're all put out together in one nice little box set. I think you can get them separately too. But yeah, man, that's the Santa Claus Blu-rays. They look at least the first 2 that I've seen the third one already on Blu-ray before, but the first and second one just look beautiful on Blu-ray. Of course, the Disney magic working there. But yeah, Santa Claus Blu-ray set. Next 2 up right here are from Kino, and this next one stars Lon Chaney in The Penalty, the movie from 1920. Yes, 1920. It's brought to you in 1080p picture, of course, because it's Blu-ray. This movie was a bit crazy. I just watched it not too long ago, and I'm trying to figure out. At the beginning of the movie, Lon Chaney is like a child, teenager, young teenager, and you see him as a little kid on this hospital bed, and these doctors are going, "Whoops, we amputated his legs." Like they weren't supposed to, amputate his legs. They're supposed to do something else to him, and because he has some sort of brain problem. And they amputate his legs, and then then it says like 22 years later after that little scene in the beginning. And then it just shows how him not having legs drove him crazy over the years, and how he runs this kind of like a sweatshop that he makes these women make hats. I'm like, what? He's making women make hats, and he thinks he's the devil or something like that, and he has this thing in his mind how he wants to rule the city and rob it for its riches and stuff like that. It's just really fun. It's 87 minutes long. It has a handful of special features on here. It has some other trailers of Lon Chaney's movies. And of course, the other thing I wanted to point out about this is that they use color tinting. Kino uses color tinting in some of their older movies. Say like night scenes, they would tint them a little bit blue. you know, to the show that it's nighttime, so it's not just all black and white, And like in older movies like The Navigator, The General, and what was it again? Saphead, they used that. But in here, it just felt like it was a little bit overused. Like they used that tinting, they used like some pink tinting, you know, like light pink, and like different kind of tinting going on in this. It kind of took me out of the movie just a little bit. I don't know if they just went a little overboard on that, but I'm not bashing Kino at all for that or anything. It just felt a little too much on some parts of it. But all in all, it was a great looking movie. Just hella fun. Like, I'm really getting into these older silent movies lately, especially Buster Keaton. But this one was really cool too. But yeah, suggest checking this one out if you guys get a chance to, if you're a connoisseur of the 20s and 30s kinds of silent films. Next up right here is another one from Kino, and that is Fear and Desire, Stanley Kubrick's Fear and Desire, his first official feature film that he has made. I think it's the first time ever released on a format where audiences like us can go out there and actually buy it. I'm not sure exactly where else. I think it was viewed once or twice somewhere, but I'm not quite sure. But it's an hour long. It's about 60 minutes, and it's just a story about soldiers that crash land, you know, behind enemy lines, and their journey of trying to get back, you know, to their side of where you know their army base. You know what I mean? Like they crash land, and it's just their journey trying to get back to their side. You know, some parts are really tense in this, and that's pretty much the basis of the story. A couple of guys, and as they're in the woods trying to get back to where they're supposed to go, you know, not behind enemy lines, they come across this woman in the woods, and you know, they tie her up to a tree just so they can keep her quiet, so she doesn't run off and like tell the general of the bad side that these guys are there. And it's just really, really fun. This Blu-ray also comes with what's it called, another short film that he's done that's about 20 minutes long. Was it Seafarers? Seafarers. I didn't really, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched that one yet. But this one was hella fun, especially if you're a big Stanley Kubrick fan. This was something that you would really like to complete your collection. I'm not gonna lie, I really dug this one. I really do like movies. What's that one that he did? Full Metal Jacket is one that I really like. I like the beginning part of Full Metal Jacket a little bit more than the second part. But yeah, Fear and Desire. Check this one out, guys. It was hella cool, especially if you're a Stanley Kubrick fan. Like you see he filmed and edited everything. Like you see like little cuts and stuff that he does in other movies. It was cool to see his origin of where he started. You know, it was just really cool. Fear and Desire. Next up right here is from History Channel, and that is Disasters Deconstructed. That right here is a set where there's a couple of things going on this set. There's a little documentary on here about the Hindenburg, which you can see on the cover here. You know, the big airship that was supposed to be like the Titanic of the air that, you know, crashed and burned. A documentary about that and the whole airship thing and how they all started and how it sort of just ended with the Hindenburg going down. Because I guess the big airships like that just always seem to have problems. They had a couple of good trips and, you know, a couple of, you know, good ones, but they always ended up like crashing or burning or something. It's just all kinds of weird. I'm kind of glad that they stopped, you know, making them and stuff, because if they still had them today, I wouldn't go on it. You know, over the years back then, if all I heard was that it went down, up, that one went down, up, that one went down, I'm not going to pay to go on there. I don't care if it's luxury, you know. And this is like a six DVD set here. And there's another one on here that talks about the Titanic. There's this other stuff on here where they talk about the infrastructures of America. Like this one, I forgot the guy's name now. Where this one guy goes to different cities like Los Angeles and like talks about how some of the freeways like haven't been like, you know, looked at or fixed up in over, you know, 50, 60 years, and how some bridges and stadiums in other states and other states that need to be like looked at, like certain bridges in certain places need to, you know, they need to update them or they're gonna, you know, completely crumble and crash to the ground, and hope to God that no one's on that, you know, no one's on these bridges if they do collapse, you know. Some of the stuff that shows you the infrastructure of how our cities are and how some of them are just completely crumbling. You know, I just found this set to be really, really interesting. Cause I really love like learning about history. But when say if I was in when I was in school and they give me a history book, I'm just like, huh? Words, no. But like I like watching stuff. You know, watching the History Channel, just learning about stuff. Cause with me, when it comes to books and stuff, it's just like, I'm Darth Vader and stuff. You know, no. You know, I don't know. And plus, I'm kind of special in my head. But it was just really cool learning about that kind of stuff. It gets me kind of like a little paranoid, a little bit about how our infrastructure is and how certain things are made and has it been maintained. You know. But yeah, this set's pretty cool. I would suggest checking it out if you want to learn more about that. Next up right here is from Comedy Central, and that is Jeff Dunham meeting the monsters. His stand-up special. You know Jeff Dunham. He's the comedian that pulls out the puppets. But in this one, his puppets are a little different. They have like little themes. Like one of them is like Frankenstein and stuff like that, and the other ones are different ghouls. But some of it was really, really funny. I'm not gonna lie. I think I've only seen one other Jeff Dunham specials. He's a pretty funny dude. The little things that he's like, like he has a puppet right here. Like, it will be bad if you don't have your hand up my butt. Like weird little one-line jokes from the puppets and stuff. It's really cool. It looks pretty good on Blu-ray. It's one of those things they're putting out for like the Halloween season. You know what I mean? Like Jeff Dunham's doing it for Halloween, different Halloween characters. And each of his little characters has a little introduction before they come on and stuff. It's a fun little stand-up comedy special if you guys are into stand-up. These next three right here are from Animego, and I really wish I watched the first one first, but then I started watching these. But I started with the third one first, and I wasn't paying attention, didn't know what was, what came first or anything. I thought they were just regular, separate movies. But that is 13 Assassins, The Great Killing, and where's that other one? 11 Samurai. This is the one I watched, but this right here is a trilogy of movies, the Samurai Revolution trilogy, from the 1960, what's it called? 1963, 1964, and 1967, the trilogy of the samurai movies. I just really wished I watched them in order. But if you guys love like old 60s, old school samurai movies, you guys would dig this. Especially this one. This one right here, 13 Samurai, was remade recently in the 2000s, and that 2000s version, and in that 2000s version, this one right here, oh my god, if this one right here is anything like this one, oh my god, it's gonna rule. It's pretty much about what's it called, a clan of people that are trying to go after, this army's coming after them, but they're only like 13. There's 13 of them versus a whole army. And all these guys are coming in on them on this town, and it's them trying to defend themselves. Like, these movies are going to be absolutely a lot of fun. I really did enjoy 11 Samurai. That was just this awesomely fantastic. I don't even know if that's really a sentence, but it's just awesomely fantastic. But yeah, dude, I watched this one a year or two ago, and I absolutely loved it. So I wanted to check this one out right here. It looks just like, I saw a trailer for it already. It looks just the same as this, but just made in the 60s. It's gonna be such a cool watch from Animego. Yeah, man, check those ones out, guys. Especially if you like old school samurai movies. These next couple up right here are from Welgo USA. This first one right here is Legendary Amazon from producer Jackie Chan. This it's another like swordplay, action flick. It's really cool. It's about, at the start of this movie, the male of this I forgot, don't get me twisted. I forgot the names of like the clans, this clan's name and that clan's name, these people's names in the movie. I was just watching the action and stuff. But at the beginning of the movie, I'm just gonna say the good guys and the bad guys. That's how I'm gonna say this in this one. The good guy, the father of the good clan, gets beaten and, like, you know, killed at the beginning of this movie, and then, you know, but before he perishes, he sends up this bird to send a message to his family of what, you know, whoops, you know, we lost the battle, you know, and then his family finds out, and pretty much all women, you know, the women of the family, and they find out and they want to go get revenge, you know, against what's going on there. So, you know, but they come to find out they only have like 10,000 troops, and the troops that they're going after are like 100,000. It's kind of like the 13 Samurai thing in a way. You know, there's like all these men versus, you know, these people. It's like, oh my god. But the action sequences of this movie, the fight scenes, absolutely breathtaking. I always love, like, you know, big battle sequences when, like, people cling clang cling clang clang clang, you know, with their big old swords. It's absolutely a lot of fun if you have never seen this one before. If you haven't seen this, it's pretty cool. Jackie Chan's money's behind it, so you know, I just had to check this one out. Next up right here, oh my god, I watched this one with my sister. It's called Ju-on White Ghost and Ju-on Black Ghost. Ju-on Ju-on's the series of The Grudge, I believe. It's like the Japanese version of The Grudge. You know, the American, you know, The Grudge came over here because these guys made it first. But these are just 2 1-hour short stories. And the Ju-on White Ghost, oh my god, me and my sister were watching it, and there's one delivery boy goes to a house, right? I'm not going to explain the whole story, I'm just going to explain like one little scary sequence of the movie. I suggest going to get this one out right now. It's just really cool. Subtitled, but it was awesome. Me and my sister sat there going, ah! You know, half the time. But, yeah, it's, I'm just going to tell you, like I said, one of the little sequences that happened in this movie. This one delivery boy, he's delivering a cake to a house, okay? He goes in the house, you know, he knocks on the door, or, you know, then like nothing happens, and the door, as he's walking away, the door opens by itself kind of thing. And he goes in there, and the lady of the house goes, "I'll be right there, I'm a little tied up right now." And then she, like, creeps back into the, you know, the kitchen that she's in, you know, and he stands there for a few moments going, okay. And then she pops out again going, "I'll be right there, I'm a little tied up right now," and then goes right back into the kitchen. She does it multiple times. And then then there's like this little girl with a backpack comes, you know, walking past him. And he's like, "What's going on?" And, you know, then he finds out what's going on in the house. But then as he's, one of the parts of the thing, he's backing up. Of course, when someone's always backing up in scary movies, something bad's gonna happen. He backs up, turns around, he sees this weird, crazy person holding a basketball going, I'm like, ah! Like, shit, you know, I'm glad, you know, I wear diapers sometimes when I'm just kidding, I didn't wear a diaper, but, like, oh my god, this was so freaky. But the second story wasn't as cool as the first story, but just for the first story alone, I highly suggest checking this one out. If you guys like weird ghost movies, it was freaky. Oh shit. This next one right here is another one from Welgo USA. It's called Stomp Live. It's it's a play, but it's where these different people use different things to make music. Like, say I have Ju-on right here, and I'm just going, you know, but they do it with like different things like trash cans, broomsticks, mops, brooms, you know, like different things, but they make it sound kind of cool. I remember my mom and other people talking about this when it first came out. I think it was around, like, you know, Riverdance came out, this came out, kind of thing. Riverdance is the whole thing with people dancing. But this, like I said, this one's like just people slapping things, slapping their hands, making different, making noise, and it's just kind of cool. But I'm not gonna lie, about half hour into this, I got kind of like, okay, I'm done, you know, kind of thing. I was like, I enjoyed it when it first started, but then after a while, it's just like, okay, I'm done. But it's still cool to see, you know, people put on a production where they're just going, you know, it's just kind of cool, you know. But yeah, the Stomp Live. This next one right here is Supernatural Activity. I think this is one of the first spoof movies on Paranormal Activity. Oh, I don't know what it was. I really did try to watch it. I sat through like 35, 40 minutes of it. And I just couldn't get into it. Like, I forced myself kind of to sit through the stuff that I did sit through. You know, it's about a reality show of people, you know, a reality show of people that do ghost hunting. And someone's doing a documentary about the reality show. Then there's someone else doing a documentary about how fake the reality show is. It's just like, oh, what's going on? It's like, this movie doesn't need to be that, you know, difficult to figure out what's, you know, really going on. You know what I mean? It's not like super difficult. It's just kind of like, does it need to be that hard to try to figure out what's going on? You know, it's okay. It's not too good. It's not too good at all. That's Supernatural Activity. But yeah. Next two right here are from Lionsgate, and the first one right here is Ella Enchanted. This one right here stars Anne Hathaway, you know, from The Princess Diaries and Love and Other Drugs. She is pretty much a princess story. And you're like, Brendan, what are you watching that for? I like Anne Hathaway. That's why. I always like the, you know, Princess Diaries and stuff like that. And of course, you know, Love and Other Drugs. Yeah. But this one right here is a story about a princess, you know, a princess in this like fairy kind of town. A little bit more modern than you would think, but when she's a baby, she gets a little like not like a curse, kind of, not like a bad curse, but a curse that she has to do what she's told. You know, like, you know, just, you know, like Ella, can I have your necklace, please? You know, she's like, okay, here. You know, kind of thing. Or she hates, let's just say she hates these, like, the bad girls right here, right? And the bad girls are like, make me a cake. Ella can't just say no. She automatically goes, okay, and like whips them up a cake type of thing, you know? She has to do what she's told, and that's pretty much the story of this movie. I always found it to be a charming little family flick about, you know, what I just told you. But it's now on Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. I just had to check this one out again. It looks very beautiful on Blu-ray. And the next one up right here is Everybody's Fine. This is the story, you know, stars Robert De Niro, Drew Barrymore, Kate Beckinsale, and Sam Rockwell. If you guys have never seen this movie, it's gonna make you cry like a fiend at the end. And if you don't cry at the end, you're probably a cold-hearted person. But the thing is, you're not gonna cry for what you think you're gonna cry for. You know, when you going into this movie, you're like, oh, this is what's gonna happen at the end. It's not what you think is gonna happen, you know. Alright, the basic story of this movie. Robert De Niro is a father. His wife recently passed away, and he's just kind of alone in the house, and it's becoming Christmas. Christmas time's coming up, so he's trying to get his family, you know, all together around the table. You know, all his kids around the table for Christmas time, and he's having a hell of a time. The family members are calling him, telling him, oh, I can't make it because I can't make it, you know, each person has their excuse why they can't make it. So he decides to go out on a road trip to visit them, you know, to see what's going on. Yet he has, you know, he has a health problem at the same time. And it's just the journey of his trip trying to, you know, go see his kids, because he's just, you know, he's lonely. He wants to go see his kids. That's pretty much the story of this movie. I don't want to say any more about it that's going to ruin anything for you, but it's just absolutely a heartbreaking and just wonderful movie. If you guys have never seen it, this one I really do highly suggest checking out. That's Everybody's Fine. It's a really nice movie. Next up right here is from Inception, and that is Back from Hell. I don't want to lie. This movie wasn't very good at all. It's about a couple of students, college students, on vacation or something like that, going to rent a room so they can, you know, hang out at a different countryside or whatever, and their car breaks down, kind of thing, and they go. I don't know if their car breaks down. It's really kind of confusing how the thing starts, but they end up in this church, sleeping in separate rooms. and one of them, they start messing with Ouija boards and stuff, and then one of them gets possessed by the devil or some sort of demon. And that's pretty much the basis of the story. And of course, one of the people has to be pregnant, and and of course, when they're on the Ouija board and stuff, and the thing says, "I want your baby," kind of thing, kind of like in the other thing, "I want you in my belly," kind of, Austin Powers kind of thing. "I want you in my belly." I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of felt like some of it was trying. Like, there's one scene when this one guy is tied to a chair. The guy that's possessed by the devil is tied to a chair with his arms around it, his back. There's a priest in front of him going, trying to ask him, "What is your name, demon?" As like one guy's recording it, because it's like a found footage kind of movie, and it's just like one whole like 5 or 10 minute sequence of just one guy holding the camera filming it, roaming from side to side, as one friend is just watching, and the priest keeps going, "What is your name, demon?" And the demon guy just keeps going for like 10 minutes. And you don't even get to hear what the demon's name is or anything. It's just, "What is your name?" I'm like, okay, there's a way to extend the movie. But it wasn't scary. There was no, like, even some of the jump scares didn't work. It's just, I don't know. I can't really recommend this one at all. I just can't. That's Back from Hell. And of course, this last one right here. What's it called? It's from from Best Buy exclusive. It's New Line Cinema finally put out the Nightmare on Elm Street. And the cool thing is about this, it has all the special features from the other region ones that came out from this edition. Or what am I saying right now? There's been other editions from other countries that have been released, like import versions of this. And this one has all the special features on here. Even has 2 episodes of Freddy's Nightmares on the 5th bonus disc, which is a DVD. But each movie, disc 1 comes with the first Nightmare on Elm Street with all the special features from the other ones. Disc 2 has Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 3 on one disc with special features. And what's cool about that one, it has that one music video, the Dream Warriors music video, which I always loved. And of course, disc 3 has 4 and 5. Disc 4 has Freddy's Final Nightmare, New Nightmare, and disc 5 is like all regular like special features and TV. The 2 episodes of the TV show. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. My favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, after the first one, right? The first one's the best, and then I love what's it called? The Freddy New Nightmare. I love number 1, New Nightmare, and then Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Those are my top 3 of the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And then I think it's like number 4 and stuff like that. Number 4 was the first one that really freaked me out. So I think that was the first one I ever seen. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, when the one guy gets turned, a person gets turned into a bug, and that one girl's getting kissed and her eyes get sucked. So that would freak me out real bad when I was a little kid. But for the trading safe, I ended up getting it for $39.99. So that was a hell of a good deal. I even still have that big, Nightmare on Elm Street DVD box set up there. It's just kind of, let me see here if I can get up there. It's just kind of cool how Blu-rays now can save so much room. Look, compared to this, look. Here's my Freddy box set. It's kind of dusty on top. Look, Freddy box set, which is not really exact order right now. And then the Blu-ray. Look, and it's the same, same stuff, even more stuff jammed into it. Look how much room, look how much like space it doesn't need to take up and stuff. But I always loved this case anyway. It's always been one of my favorite sets I had. But now I have the Blu-rays, and the picture quality looks amazing. Looks very, very good, and I'm glad I upgraded to Blu-ray. But that's been my update for today, guys, and I'll see you guys for the next video, whenever that is. Have a good night, guys. Bye.